Hello, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show, Shelf Talk. And today we are in the main epicenter of the Darth Tuba Star Wars collection. And there's a couple of items here I'd like to just kind of point out today. First item I want to point out is well, not the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the giant Sith Lord in the room. And that is this. This is a Darth Vader. This is not a statue. This is not a 501st approved costume. What this is essentially is a Ruby's Ultimate Darth Vader costume. Now, you might say, okay, well, why'd you do that? Well, a couple of reasons. One, years ago, if this tells a story, years and years ago, some of you might remember, there was a store that used to find its way in a lot of malls, maybe in airports, called Sharper Image. And Sharper Image was basically kind of Brooks Brothers type of store that had a lot of high-end kind of, let's just say it was filled with stuff you didn't know you absolutely needed. Okay, like massage chairs and really, really high-end stereo systems and things of that nature. Okay, very niche, very weird, interesting, kind of show-offy items. And back in the late 90s, they had a series of, actually not late 90s, I think it was more like the early 90s. They had two things that came out, a Darth Vader statue and a Stormtrooper statue. Now these guys were just statues. They were full out, pieced together models. Imagine like the statues that we have, they're this big, but they were life size. And they were all shinied up. And you would have Darth Vader sitting in your living room. It was a unique thing. It was crazy. But I remember going to see, never ever having any intention of buying one, because it was expensive. I think a Darth Vader was like $6,000 and a Stormtrooper was $5,000, which at the time was a lot of money for anybody. So it still is, in fact. But we did this and we kind of went through it. And the thing that I was kind of noticing was the fact that I really, really liked the idea of a Vader, but I felt like a Vader statue just, kind of a waste. Wouldn't it be better to have a Vader costume? So, fast forward to about 2005 when Revenge of the Sith came out. There was, in fact, Ruby's came out with, the costume company Ruby's came out with a Darth Vader Supreme Edition costume. This was the finest costume that they've ever come out with prior to this. Before that, it was all like kids' costumes, the rubber band mask in the front, maybe a helmet that pulls over. But this was the full-out real deal, molded from the original prop pieces. Okay, obviously made of a cheaper plastic and, vinyl instead of leather, those type of things to kind of keep the costs down. Well, even then it was $1,500. But I was able to find one on eBay from, I guess, a mass retailer that bought from the original stock person, and I got it for a very, very, very small fraction of that. And I found a mannequin online, put it on the mannequin, and although it's not 100% perfect, this thing you can see comes off, but you can see I don't know if the batteries are in here. I might have actually taken them out as we are. Oh no, you can see that we have a little light up here. Okay, and the belt also does the same light up kind of thing. So honestly, it's a great piece. And what's nice is that if I really wanted to, and I have done this, I can take it off, I can put it on, I can take it off the mannequin, put it on myself, and go out and cosplay or make appearances as Darth Vader, which I do only at very rare occasions. I teach for a living, so sometimes I wear it to school, on Halloween, that type of thing. So it's a really nice thing. I also have I'm going to point out that his boots, these boots, if you can look there, you can see that the boots are platform boots. Okay, they're actually 3 inches. And that, by far, is I am not Darth Vader height. His helmet does add about this much, about 4 or 5 inches to your head, but you still need that. I mean, if you try to wear the cape, it like drags underneath. So you definitely got to get, if you plan on finding something like this, you can still find it for a couple of $100. Not a huge investment. If you have that discretionary income, it's really a cool thing. And you put it on a mannequin, and it's a really great display piece. Now, behind him, you will notice a whole series of vintage-looking Star Wars carded figures. These are the vintage collection newer figures that came out within the last 10 years. And I love them. I think it's such a cool thing that they do. I told you on previous episodes, I do not open up the vintage collection figures. I leave them in the package. And they are kind of elsewhere around. These are the ones that came out about 10 years ago, starting around 2007, when it was the 30th anniversary of Star Wars. If you look to Vader's left, Okay, on this side, you will see that I do have a series of original vintage carded figures. I'll come back to that on another day. They are not what I would say ideal. They're not mint condition. That is how I'm able to afford them. I buy damaged boxes, damaged packaging, proof of purchase missing, but it still gives that nice vintage carded look, and it's not an extensive amount of money. But at a later date, we'll do that, okay? So that's what's going on this shelf. As you can see, the entire 2007 collection is here. I will point out behind Vader in here that you can see over here in the corner there behind me right here, right? You have some of those 3-packs. And then below them are the figures. This is where I started putting some of the figures. I'm doing this backwards here. This is where I started putting some of the figures that we went over in previous episodes. Okay, so, and then the last thing I want to point out is just a silly little thing, but every time it seems like we go to a store, there's a new Star Wars bag. There's just a lot of shopping, either trick-or-treat bags, or the Disney Store had a special bag when Force Awakens came out. Down here you can see Gentle Giant had a bag at one of the conventions, and you can see we have this is one of my favorites. This is when we went shopping at, I think, FAO Schwartz in 1999, and they were giving out these bags. I just loved this art. I loved seeing that. Of course, we have a Yoda, a cartoon Yoda. Just a nice balance of different types of bags. And they obviously serve two purposes. If I need a bag to grab something and go upstairs or whatever, I can just quickly put one in there. So, as you can see, that is essentially the shelf talk we have to share with you today. This room is essentially a boiler room, so I'm really fortunate that almost an entire time that I've spoken, the boiler didn't turn on and start heating up our water heater or anything of that nature. But I do keep a wide distance from any kind of house-related items for the safety of both the house and the items and the units. So we want to make sure that we don't have any fire safety issues. So. We've done walkthroughs. You can look on past videos for walkthroughs of the whole place, but I just was, I've been enjoying going through, shelf talk a little at a time and going through a few items here and there. So thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. And the boiler just went on, so thank you so much for watching. And until next time, check me out, Darth Tuba on Instagram, Twitter, Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show on Facebook, and check out Darth Tuba, DarthTuba77 at gmail.com. I think I got everything. So, thank you so much, and may the Force be with you.